Hello, my fellow DC Comics fans and fans of the DC Cinematic Universe Facebook page and group. Welcome to the first episode of the DC Cinematic Universe podcast. I'm the head admin of the DC Cinematic Universe page and group, Mitchell. And joining me today is my fellow admin, David. How are you, David?
I'm doing good. Thanks for the invite, Mitch.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so this podcast is an extension of the DC Cinematic Universe page and group. And if you don't know the DC Cinematic Universe, it so far consists of Man of Steel and the upcoming Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. And on this podcast, we are going to talk about all the DC Comics movie news. So let's get started. First up, we got the new Batsuit and Batmobile that have been revealed. David, what do you think of the new Batsuit and Batmobile?
Well, all I have to say is about this new Batsuit. I absolutely love it. I mean, I'm finally, from the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be black and gray, and that's what I've been expecting. Because first, I've always, when it came to the Batsuit colors, I've always been a fan of the black and gray. I mean, that's what makes Batman Batman. Those color suits. But when I first saw the suit, my only problem with it was I sort of had a problem with the short ears, but then I sort of grew into it because I started remembering, especially since I'm still reading the New 52 Batman series, that his ears look kind of short. And from the looks of it, they did say that this movie was going to take some inspiration from The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller,
Took
and
a lot of inspiration with the
yes, it
suit from
did.
that.
I've read that story many times, and as I recall, the ears were kind of short in there. Well, not short, but they were short. And they were not that long, but for the most part, I love the suit. I mean, it looks fantastic, and the Batmobile just looks great. From the looks of it, it looks like a combination of the Tumbler and the new Batmobile that we recently saw in the trailer for Batman Arkham Knight.
See, I think it's it obviously resembles the Arkham Knight, but I think it's more of a combination between the Tumbler and the Tim Burton Batmobile from the Batman
Yeah,
1989 and the Batman
yeah, I forgot
Returns.
to add that. It does have some elements of that too, and I love it because we all know that Zack Snyder, he's a big comic book fan and he likes to take as much inspiration as he can from the source material.
And that's the great reason we have him as the director.
Yes,
There you go. He's a comic book fan like you and me and everyone else listening to this.
yes, he is, and the bat suit. I mean, and I think honestly, and I think I'm not gonna cry about it too because I do seem to recall that Kevin Smith said that there will be more than one bat suit in the movie.
He said he thought there would be. He never came directly out and said, "Hey, yeah, there's going to be more than one Batsuit and more than one Batmobile." He said he had suspected that there would be. I think he saw one Batsuit, and I think this was the Batsuit he saw.
Hmm.
I do think we'll see more. I think we'll see a lot of suits in the Batcave in glass cases,
Yes, and
and
I think
we'll probably see an armored look too
yes.
when he fights Superman because
Hmm.
he can't go head to head with Superman just in the suit he has now. So I
And I
think
also
we'll
want to
see an armored look.
and I also wanted to add something that I remember like last November, I think there were some news reports stating that there would be more than one bat suit, and they were saying that there might be an armored bat suit as well.
Yeah, I
And I also
remember that.
think and I also seem to recall that there was something about that Batman might have some bat drones, like bat robots.
Yeah, I heard that too, but that was part of the rumors that also said it was, I think it was at least, part of the rumors that also said it was going to connect to the Nolan trilogy somehow, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah,
And
that was
those rumors are completely false. Completely false.
yeah, it
Zack
was.
Snyder, Ben Affleck, David Goyer, everyone involved have already said countless times that
Hmm.
this movie has nothing to do with the Dark Knight trilogy. The
Yeah.
only similarity is Batman is in both of them. That's the only
Hmm.
similarity, but it's a different Batman.
It's a different
So,
universe altogether.
exactly.
And and David Goyer even said it last year when Man of Steel was released that that these movies were gonna have that the DC cinematic universe is the start of the Man of Steel is actually the start of this new universe. It has absolutely no connection to the Nolan verse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that also, I just want to point this out. That statement he made last year when he
Hmm.
said that this is the start, that means
Yeah.
like I would love to see him come back, but that means Ryan Reynolds is out, man. Because Green
Yeah.
Lantern was before Man of Steel, so that means he's gone.
Hmm.
I'd like to see him come back, but I think the Green Lantern movie will end up just like the Ang Lee Hulk movie. Kind of,
Yeah.
we don't speak of it, we ignore it, and it never happened. You
Yes.
know, like that type of thing. And like X-Men Last Stand to
To X-Men
Fox
Days of
X.
Future Past.
Yeah, it never happened. It didn't
Mhm.
anymore with that movie. But we're getting into spoiler territory here about that
Yeah. Sorry
movie, and
about
I don't
that.
want to talk about that. I don't want to. If you haven't, look, I know this is a DC podcast, but the new X-Men movie is magnificent. It's
Yes, it was.
really
I
good.
loved it.
If you haven't seen it, go out there, go buy a movie ticket, go see the movie because it was great.
Yes, it was. But
Well,
anyway,
let's
no,
move.
and also wanted to add that going back to what we were talking about the bat suit, the bat logo, and I also love the bat logo too. I mean, it looks exactly like the one that appeared in Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, and it somewhat resembles the bat logo that Batman has right now in the New 52. So all otherwise, like overall, I would have to say the Ben Affleck's bat suit by far is like my favorite, and I rank it a 10 out of 10. And the bat suit and the Batmobile, from the looks of it, is just beautiful. I rank it another 10 out of 10. That's all I have to say about that.
I don't know where I would rank it. I haven't thought about that. I definitely say the Batmobile is just by the picture is
Hmm.
my favorite out of all the ones we've seen. Just because it combines the best elements of the Tumbler with the 1989 Batmobile and smashes them together.
Hmm. But don't get me wrong, I'm also still I'm not gonna degrade the Tumblr that appeared in the Nolan films
Oh,
because I actually that was one of my favorite Batmobiles right there. I mean, it looked more
The Tumbler was awesome. It was
yes,
great.
and I'm glad that Zack Snyder actually is taking some elements from that one to combine it with the comic book ones that we've seen. That's what I liked about this new Batmobile.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, so let's move on to the next story we've got, next little news story. And we have the official title for the Superman Batman movie, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. What do you think
Yes,
of this, David?
the title is perfect. I mean, it to me it does make sense. I mean, I was hoping at first I was originally hoping that they would go with World's Finest, but I
Yeah,
thought that title would work out. But
I was hoping for that too. I was hoping for Man of Steel 2 World's Finest. That's what I was
yeah,
hoping for, but I'm happy with this too.
yeah. I mean, I knew from the get go that they weren't going to go with Man of Steel because this is technically not because as I know as we so far from the news that we've heard and everything and from our knowledge, we already know that this movie is technically what this movie is going to be is going to be a more of a follow up than a sequel to Man of Steel,
Yeah.
and also like an introduction and setup to Justice League, which we all know that Zack Snyder is going to direct.
Mhm.
So, what I like about this title is that it's including both Batman and Superman, which should get everybody's hopes up because we know these are the two most iconic superheroes in the movie of all time, actually. And Dawn of Justice, like it makes sense because like come on, we know that this is gonna lead into it. This is the dawn. This is the beginning of the Justice League.
That's what I love about it. That
Hmm.
part. It's not the Batman v Superman that gets me. I knew their names would probably be somewhere in the title. It's the
Yeah.
Dawn of Justice part that I think is the coolest.
Yes, it is.
And let me ask you something. What do you think of? Because there's been lots of complaints about these two things. One, Batman's name is first, and two, the V instead of the VS period for verses. What
Well,
do you think of that?
I don't know about the V. I mean, the V could be versus or maybe an and. We don't know for sure. But I mean, my little gripe with this is that they put Batman's name first because the thing about it is that I think Superman's name should have gone first, since seeing as how his movie Man of Steel was the one that kicked off the DC cinematic universe, and I
Yeah,
think
I
he
think.
should,
Oh, wait, sorry. Go on.
yeah, I mean I think Superman should have been the one to get the spotlight first, since like I said, this is technically his movie started off this franchise, and he's what's the word I'm looking for? He's like the main progenitor of this franchise. His movie is the main progenitor of the franchise. But either way, like I like the title. Like I mean, it's a gripe I can get over with, and I think they probably did that because they probably want to go for alphabetical order. So
That could be one way. Or did you see the 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 legal definition of it all? Like what someone we posted it to the page, and did you see it? It
no, I
says
haven't seen it.
it says someone who is a legal attorney wrote about the V in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice title and why Batman is listed first. Think in terms of a court case. By that, I mean Batman is the man with a grievance, a
Hmm.
plaintiff, and Superman is the man responsible for the grievance, the defendant. Batman
Yeah,
would come first, and the verses would be shortened to a small v in law.
yeah,
That makes sense.
that
I
could,
don't
yeah.
think I don't think they went that deep with it though, to
Hmm.
go to like law terms and do all of that. I honestly, you know why I think Batman's name is first? It's because Batman draws in more money. It's as simple as that, at least the way I see it.
Well, that
And
could be
that's,
that
you
could be
know,
another reason.
you put his name first because that's what's going to draw the crowd. At least, I mean, Superman obviously is going to bring in money, but Batman, I mean, unfortunately, Superman is the first DC hero, and he
Yes,
should
he
be the
is.
most popular, but he isn't. Batman is.
Hmm.
And
That
it's just, it's as simple as that. At
Well,
least the way I
technically,
see
I
it.
say the way I see it, both Batman and Superman, like including Wonder Woman as well. These are the they are three of the most popular heroes. I mean, they are technically DC's flagship characters, just like Marvel. Spider-Man is from Marvel.
I don't know if I put Wonder Woman on there though, because Wonder Woman, everyone knows the name, everyone knows who Wonder Woman is, but they don't know
Hmm.
much about her.
Well, that's true,
You
but
know,
she is,
so
but
she
she is
is.
an iconic hero. I can give you we could say that she is really
Oh,
iconic.
absolutely, yeah. But I would say the three most popular superheroes in
Hmm.
like all of comic books and whatnot are Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's who I would say. Because when you're a kid, I feel like you look at those three and you pick one,
Hmm.
and you pick one that's your favorite. You
Yeah.
know, I picked Batman, but that was
I actually liked all three, so.
Wolverine,
Yeah, no, I
like
mean
you said.
I'm talking about Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman. Those are my top three. Those are the ones I grew up with, and I hold them dear to my heart.
I love them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're they're on my top fives list. Both of those.
Hmm.
And what
And
would
also,
you? Hmm?
I was gonna ask you about going back to our subject. What about the logo? What do you think about the logo about of the movie?
Well, we saw the logo's great, and I don't understand why people are looking at the logo and thinking it's brand new. It's the same one we saw at Comic Con
Hmm.
last year. It's the exact same one. There are a few differences. I mean, obviously the lighting is a bit different, but
Hmm.
besides that, the Superman symbol looks to be like smashed in to the bat symbol,
Yeah.
which is a bit different than the one we saw at Comic Con, and that might be hinting at something. Maybe I
Hmm.
don't know, but it's really cool. I like it.
I love it too. I mean, I have no issues. Well, overall, I have no issues with the logo or the title. Like, to me, they make sense. I mean, I don't really understand why there's so much negativity out of it, but I mean, I love the title. Like, it makes sense. Like, and honestly, I'd rather prefer than some of the other titles that they wanted to give it before, like the proposed ones, like Man of Steel, Darkness Falls. Like,
Yeah, but
I
those
couldn't see
weren't
that.
those weren't official though. Like those were rumors. They probably maybe considered that, but it was a rumor.
Yeah, and I didn't prefer, I didn't like those titles, so I'd rather stick with Dawn of Justice.
I
So
liked there was one of those that I did like, and it was Man of Steel 2 Nightfall. You know?
that one was a good one.
But I
That
feel
was,
like if you call it Nightfall, people are gonna start going, "Is Bane in this?" When's
Hmm.
Bane gonna show up?
Or they probably might say that this is really they're gonna think that Batman might be the enemy, or this is gonna be a Batman movie.
I do think Batman's gonna be the enemy in this in a way.
Hmm.
I
He
because I
might.
think we're gonna get it from Superman's perspective, and I
Hmm.
think Batman is gonna be looked at as a bad guy throughout at least half of the movie.
Yeah, and we
You
all
know,
know, there have been comics before, and in some media where Superman and Batman have fought when they first met each other.
well, it makes sense. I mean, look, I mean, listen, you're not gonna meet someone dressed as a vigilante and think, oh, hey, even if you're a vigilante and think, oh, hey, I'm gonna be friends with this person, you're gonna think, who the hell do you think you are? You know, this is my territory. Why are you in Metropolis? You know, I mean, that's just not how it works.
Hmm.
Realistically, you're not gonna meet someone dressed as a bat in your city and say, "Hey, how
Yeah,
you doing? Want to go get coffee?"
yeah,
That's not
that.
realistic. And this and don't get people started on the realistic thing because people bash that to death. But you know what? It's got to have some form of realism. It doesn't have to be because obviously Man of Steel isn't completely realistic, but the characters are based in reality. And
Hmm.
that's what's good about it. You got to have your characters based in reality so they're relatable. Because if they're not relatable, then they're just not good characters.
Exactly.
But let's move on. I suppose we've talked about this for a while, so let's move on to the next story. And that is about another character in this movie, and that's Wonder Woman, and specifically the actress Gal Gadot, who has filmed a scene for the newly titled Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. She filmed a scene as Wonder Woman, or rather, as the alter ego, either Princess Diana or Diana Prince, or whatever they choose to call it, leaving a
Yeah,
building and getting into a car. Did you see this, David?
yeah, I saw those pictures.
Now, what do you think of them finally filming something?
Well, I love it. I mean, I'm glad that they're making progress. That this movie's actually getting filmed. I mean, for one, we've been waiting. I don't know about you, but I've been waiting for a Superman Batman movie, a team up movie or a fight, whatever you want to call it, movie for a long time.
I've been
Ever
waiting
since I was
for it.
like, huh?
What? No, I mean I've been waiting for it since I was like 5 years old in front of the TV watching the Justice League cartoons and whatnot. I
Yeah.
wanted to see this movie, and now we're getting it, and it's
Hmm.
great.
I'm really happy that it's finally happening. And as for the scene, um, something tells me that that Gal's role in this movie is not going to be that large. I mean,
I think
I
it's
might.
going to be a lot like what Black Widow was in Iron Man
Hmm.
2, sort of a
Yeah,
just a supporting role.
yeah. Because here's what I think. Well, we all know that in the comics that Diana Prince or Princess Diana, what we call her, is like known to be like an ambassador at times, or there have been times where she's been like working undercover. I think her role in this movie is that she's gonna be monitoring both Superman and Batman, but mostly Superman because the events that took place in Man of Steel, as we all know, made it clear that now the world knows that that the aliens in this universe exist.
Hmm.
I mean,
And that means it's not long before they find out that Amazons exist
hmm,
and Atlanteans exist. I mean, it's not long till
yeah.
all of this stuff comes to light.
And my guess is that since what if that the world what if the world engine that was over in the Indian Ocean has some kind of effect on Themyscira on that
I
island?
wouldn't be surprised because that's right there. It's in the Indian Ocean, or at least it's
Yeah,
close to it because it's near Greece, and Greece is obviously borders the Indian Ocean. So yeah, I mean, definitely.
that's my guess. So my I'm guessing that she's gonna that Diana is gonna act like some kind of she might be working undercover as either probably like an intern at Wayne Enterprise or maybe like like just an undercover ambassador.
That was the rumor going around is that
Hmm.
she is working at Wayne Enterprise,
Yeah.
but she's there to get like an artifact back that was stolen from her people.
Hmm. That's my guess. That's what I'm guessing. Like, I mean, we all know that like I said, Wonder Woman's in it, but we don't know if we don't know if her role is gonna be big. I mean, it could be a minor role, like that's because remember we already know this movie is gonna lead into Justice League, so they what I'm thinking that Zack Snyder did was to add Wonder Woman to make it known that there's other heroes in this universe.
The way I see it, her role is small. It's
Mm-hmm.
not as small as a cameo, but it's not as big as a supporting role. It's very in the middle of
Mm-hmm.
that. I mean, I would call her a supporting role, but I don't think she's going to be a key supporting role. She just kind of be there. And I think she'll show up in one scene in her Wonder Woman
Mm-hmm.
outfit in the movie.
Probably towards
And
the end.
yeah, I think honestly, this is what I'm hoping for. I mean, because obviously Superman and Batman are going to fight. We know
Mm-hmm.
that, but you can't have either one win, right? Because you have Superman win, the Bat fanboys get very angry and they say Batman's smart, he would find a way to defeat Superman. You have Batman win and now the Superman fanboys get angry because they say, well, Superman is twice the more than like 10 times the strength of Batman. He can
Yeah.
put him down in the ground and make him stay there, right? So there's that. So you can't have either of them win because either way you're going to make people mad. So you
Mm-hmm.
have it end in a draw, and you have Wonder Woman break up the fighting.
Yes.
Right? She steps in, breaks it up. It's a lot like there's a scene in the comic book and the animated movie too, the New Frontier, with
Oh
that
yeah.
exact thing. The Superman and Batman are fighting, and Wonder Woman breaks it up and basically tells them, "You're both on the same side. You don't need to fight." You
Or
know?
probably, or maybe like that scene from New 52 Justice League #2 when Batman and Superman first met each other, and then when Superman almost choked Batman to death until Green Lantern interfered.
Yeah, definitely. Someone's gonna interfere.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be someone that interferes because you can't, or they just come to their senses and they stop fighting because you can't have either one win. And I know, and Zack Snyder knows if you have either one win, people are gonna get angry. David Goyer knows that. Ben Affleck knows that. Henry Cavill knows that. Chris Terrio, everyone involved, they know that.
So
They're
that
not they're not stupid.
mhm. So maybe that's so that now we could sum up that could be that could be one of Wonder Woman's role to actually be the drift be that drift in the middle that stops that balances out between the fight between Batman and Superman.
I think so. Yeah. And I will say this about going back to the subject of the this whole news, that scene that they did film. It was filmed obviously in Detroit. We
Yeah,
know they're
because
filming in Detroit, Michigan.
mhm,
Yeah.
that's what
But
we know so far.
yeah, but all the cars that are in the scene, and they had a few mopeds too, all their license plates are French. Every
Hmm.
single one of them. And that leads me to believe they're filming the scene in Detroit, but it's meant to take place in France,
Yeah.
which is interesting because why is she in France? You know? Why is she in
Hmm.
France? And besides that, though, there's a really cool picture of one of the mopeds, and Zack Snyder's riding it just around,
Yeah,
and it's,
I've
it's
seen
a
that
really
one.
fun picture.
Yeah, it is.
He looks like he has fun doing the filming, and that's good. You gotta have fun at your job,
Yeah.
or it's boring, and you don't want to be bored. All right, so let's move on to the next story, and that is about another story about Wonder Woman. And Movie Pilot is reporting that Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman suit will resemble the one from Wonder Woman number 600, also known as the Odyssey and whatnot. So, what do you think of this piece of news?
Well, let's see.
Oh, well, hang on
Well, the
before
movie.
before you say anything. I would like to point out that Movie Pilot is not a very reliable source,
Yes, that's what I
but
was about to say.
I still would like to address it because we have not had a lot of news about Wonder Woman.
Hmm.
And I figured this is the first piece that we've really had any rumors about her costume, I think, is
Yeah.
this. So I did want to address it. And yeah, this is just, I mean, a rumor at this point. But yeah, go ahead. What do you think about it?
Well, first of all, the movie pilot is the one that's reporting, like you said, and honestly, I don't. I find that I don't believe it because I rarely trust what movie pilot says. Most of their news is BS at times, and sometimes it's even late. There have been times where they reported something that happened like of one that they reported something that happened like a month ago, so I wouldn't trust that news. But the suit, as and I seem to remember, that I forgot. I think the costume designer, I think his name is Michael Wilkinson, said that the suit was gonna resemble that it was gonna resemble like something like a gladiatorial suit that women wear during ancient times. So I doubt.
He said that was what they were going for. Yeah.
Yeah. So I doubt. So I mean, and I doubt that suit. So I doubt that rumor is true.
But
And
yeah,
even
the thing with the suit though is a lot of people hate this Wonder Woman outfit. It's their least favorite.
yeah, it is. I hate it. I've always
You
hated.
hate it too?
I
Uh,
despise that suit so much. It's not even. I can't even stress it.
I
To,
don't
to
understand why people hate it because I think it's great. It's one of my favorites.
I,
Explain to me why you hate it, David. Because I
um.
don't get it.
Well, for one, the jacket. Like, what does Wonder Woman need?
Why do you hate the jacket? The jacket's awesome. What's wrong with the
I'm sorry.
jacket?
I mean, the jacket looks cool, but I don't understand why Wonder Woman would wear a jacket.
Because she has to look like a biker person, all right? Yeah. I don't know. I like the suit though. I mean, it's not your classic Wonder Woman, but it looks awesome and badass, I think.
I mean, I seriously detest that suit.
All
I
right.
mean,
Well, I mean, I
I,
understand that, I guess.
I mean, if they're gonna go, I mean, I don't. The suit that I really want to see Wonder Woman wearing in this franchise is, I wanted to see something that looks either like the New 52 suit or either the one that she wore in Justice League War, maybe like one
I
of those
could
battle
see
outfits with a skirt.
I could see maybe the a mix between the Injustice costume,
Mm-hmm.
which I really like the Injustice suit, like a mix between that and
Mm-hmm.
like classic Greek gladiator armor.
Yes.
And I think that would mesh well because those two are, they go together, I think. But
Yeah. I mean,
the one thing I do not think we will see this Wonder Woman wear is the classic Wonder Woman costume with like, like the type of looks like a bathing suit with the,
with the red boots.
with well, no, I think we'll see red boots probably.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
know which
But
costume
I
you're talking.
don't think we'll see like the one Linda Carter wore and all of that.
Yeah,
And the
that
reason I don't think we'll see it is because it just doesn't fit in
it
what they're
doesn't.
going for, and in the tone and the style they're going for with these new movies. It just doesn't fit into that.
And remember, we got to remember that they're taking inspiration from modern stuff, not classic stuff.
That's true too. Yeah. Well, I don't know
And
if I'd call The Dark Knight Returns modern,
yeah, well,
but
actually, I kind of do because
well, it's the
because Batman is always right now he's still wearing black and gray
yeah.
compared to back then when he was wearing blue and gray. But
Wow. What do you think of blue and gray?
I've always hated that blue and gray suit.
Why? What's wrong with blue and gray?
All right, I've always been a fan of the black and gray.
All
But
right, I
but
understand
go
that. I like look. If you were gonna go dark blue, I wouldn't mind that. Like a
yeah,
navy dark blue, I wouldn't mind that. But I don't
but
want
going
bright
back.
blue. I can agree with you on that.
But I wanted to add something about about Wonder Woman suit. I think the classic one. I think that in the classic one we might actually see it like in a Wonder Woman movie like as a homage, to the classic movies or to the classic comic books or and as an homage to Linda Carter. I think we'll see that, but I doubt we will even see Gal wear that one.
Yeah, I don't think we will see her wear it at all. I can
Hmm.
definitely see maybe you see it on like the mascara, and she references it like that's my old
Yeah.
costume I used to wear or
Hmm.
something, But I don't think we will see her physically wear it.
At best, we'll most likely see Wonder Woman. I think where at least maybe either a costume that's a rendition of the New 52 or maybe a combination of the New 52 and a gladiatorial uniform.
Yeah, I definitely think there will be inspiration from gladiator styles in there.
Hmm.
But let's move on. That's the end of the everything we have on the listed news stories. But I wanted to take some. I posted at the page, and I asked people to comment questions or concerns or whatever they want about the DC Cinematic Universe. And I
Yeah.
said we would address some of them on the podcast, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, there were a lot of comments, and I picked two of them that we're going to address. All of them, before we address them, though, all the comments were great. I didn't pick yours because it wasn't any better. I picked the ones that I think we can talk about and have like a conversation about.
Hmm.
There were some of them that's kind of like you just say yes or no, like yes or no questions, you know. And I don't think you can have a straight conversation with those. So we're just gonna answer the questions. And Alex, I don't know, dude. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Alex. So if I mispronounce it, I'm sorry. Alex Gahan, Gagan, something with a G. Alex G. He writes, "What are your thoughts on the recent comments by David Goyer about the Martian Manhunter being introduced as a Justice League member in the DCCU? Can he be introduced effectively and honor his legacy from the comics?" I just want to say before we answer the questions that David Goyer never said that he would be introduced in a Justice League movie. He never said that.
Yes.
He was asked how he would introduce the character, but he
Mm-hmm.
never said straightforward that, oh yeah, you're going to see Martian Manhunter. Personally, I don't think we will. I think they'll go with the new 52 lineup with Cyborg because they've already kind of, you know, said Cyborg's in it. So I think they'll go
Mm-hmm.
with that. But let's address the actual comments David Goyer made. What do you think of the comments he made?
Well, let's see. David Goyer, I respect him. To me, I know there's people that don't like him. I know there's people that like him.
You know, he's like every other writer. He has some bad stuff, he has some good
Hmm.
stuff. But his good stuff, in my opinion, outweigh his bad
Yeah.
stuff. Because his good stuff, when he writes something good, it's
Hmm.
really good. It's not just
Yeah.
like good, it's great.
I mean, in my opinion, David S. Goyer, I respect. I mean, he's a hit and miss, but I mean, I felt kind of angry about when he said that about the Martian Manhunter because I'm a huge Martian Manhunter fan. In fact, he's actually one of my top favorite comic book characters in general and from the DC universe. And I really want to see him appear in this universe. I really want to see him in a live action film. I mean, I know, I don't know if you're a fan of him, but
Oh, I mean, he's not one of my favorite characters, but I
hmm
definitely see the appeal to him, and I like him.
yes, I've always been a Martian Manhunter fan ever since the Justice League cartoon, and I've always wanted to see him in a movie, but I doubt we're gonna see him in the first Justice League movie
I,
because we all know it's probably gonna go follow the New 52 line, but
but
something
I
tells
mean,
me
we
that
can't
we
forget that he is in the New 52.
yes he is.
So we will. I still think we will definitely see him at
I
some
mean
point. Now, whether it's David Goyer's idea of a DNA altered human, which would be completely differing from the comic books and making a different character just with the name Martian Manhunter, I personally I don't get that mad as long as it's good. You
hmm
know, like in my opinion, there's certain stories in the comic books like Martian Manhunter isn't as popular as, let's say, Batman's story.
yeah.
And I'm not saying just because it isn't as popular, that means it's not as good. It's a great origin story. But if
hmm
you changed it, the majority of people aren't going to know it was even changed. You
Yeah, well,
know?
that's true. But it'll still anger some of the truer fans who know the character,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
But,
me.
and I still think, what do you think? Let's go on to this part. Can it be introduced effectively and honor his legacy from the comics? My answer is yes, I think it can. My only complaint with introducing it effectively is Martian. That is one complaint I've always had about Martian Manhunter, and that is his origin is so similar to Superman in so many ways.
Yeah, it technically is. I mean, and they both have some similar powers, but
Yeah,
only just they just have different weaknesses. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think it would because it wouldn't make sense to me that him being a human grown organism, I think is what he said.
that's what he said. Yeah, like a scientific, genetic experiment.
That to me it wouldn't make sense. I'd rather they stick to his actual origin. I mean, him being from Mars, but
Yeah.
in a way like but not fully, but at least take some inspiration from it.
Well,
Maybe they could.
I could see them definitely going fully from Mars and going into the whole white Martian, green Martian war and everything.
Hmm. That's what I want to see.
And I
And
think honestly that would make a really good movie.
yes, it
The
would.
war between the white Martians and the green Martians and have his origin in one movie and then how he came to Earth, how Mars became extinct, how he came to Earth and all of that. And
Yes, that would make.
you know who could make that movie and you know who could do a great job with it? You ever
Who?
heard of the director Neil Blomkamp,
Yes, who
who
directed
directed District
Elysium?
9 and Elysium?
He could do it.
He is, in my opinion, the best science fiction director working today.
Yes, he is.
And
One. Well, in my one.
one of the best science fiction writers working today too, because he also wrote or co-wrote. No, or did he write the whole thing? I think he has some help. So he co-wrote Elysium and District 9
Mm-hmm.
and all that. He's got a new movie coming out too called Chappie, which is
Yeah.
about a robot named Chappie, which
Mm-hmm.
seems pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think
And
he could be one of.
I could definitely see because he's got Charlotte, Charlton Copley, the actor.
Yes, I know who he is.
He's in all his movies. Every single movie Neil Blomkamp makes has him in it. I could see him as Martian Manhunter right
Well,
away.
well, the person I've always who I can to me the two people that I actually envision as Martian Manhunter. Well, one is Dwayne Johnson because I'm a huge fan of him and I want to see him in a superhero movie.
Oh, he's
And the
gonna
other
be
person,
in one. We know he's
hopefully,
gonna be in a DC movie.
yes, and
We just
hopefully
don't
he's
know which
Martian
one.
Manhunter.
I think he might be Darkseid, but that's just me. I think it's
Yes.
either Darkseid or Martian Manhunter is who he's playing.
And my other choice for Martian Manhunter, to me, in my opinion, is Denzel Washington because he's one of my all-time favorite actors, and I've been dying to see him. Two things: I've been dying to see him play a superhero movie, and I'm definitely dying to see a collaboration between Denzel and Zack Snyder.
I could see that. He'd be good. There's a guy I can't remember. I can't remember the character's name or the actor's name. I'm drawing a blank on it. But
Mhm.
he's in Spartacus, and he's been
Oh,
a fan favorite for the role for a while for Martian Manhunter.
I know you're talking about Peter Mensa.
That's his name. Yeah,
Yeah, and
he
he's
would. I
collaborated
think
with Zack Snyder twice before. He
on
was in
what
300.
he was in. What
Hmm?
he was in? What
He was in 300.
was he real? Oh, I didn't know that. I've
Yeah,
seen that movie like 5 times and I never
he
noticed
was
him.
the messenger that Leonidas kills. Remember the one when he kicks him and says, "This is Sparta."
Oh, you're right.
That's
That was
him.
him.
That is him.
Wow.
And he makes a brief cameo appearance in 300 Rise of an Empire.
Okay. I have not seen Rise of an Empire yet. So,
But he comes out there just for a bit, but like I said, I really want to see Martian Manhunter appear. I mean, he's one of my top favorite characters, and I just hope that they find a way to to write a good origin that sticks to the source material. That I mean, it doesn't have to follow the whole thing, but it could take some inspiration.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree. I definitely think we will see Martian Manhunter. I think you will see inspiration from the comic books. And keep in mind, David Goyer does not decide. Like, he is not the decision maker over the
Yeah,
DC movies. In
that's
reality, it comes down, in my opinion, in my opinion, the way I see it, there's two. I mean, I'm not in Warner Brothers, so I can't tell you the exact person in charge, you know? But the way I see it, there's two people that are the people in charge, and that's the CEO of Warner Brothers, Kevin. I always pronounce his name wrong. Chichara, I think is how you say it. I always pronounce it wrong. And then
yeah.
there's Zack Snyder, who's the director. Those are the two people in charge. Obviously, Zack Snyder's boss is Kevin Chichara, you know, but Zack Snyder still has control over the movie.
Yes, he does.
But if Kevin Chichara were to tell him, "Don't do that," Zack Snyder would have to not do that
Hmm.
because if he did do it, he'd lose a job.
Yes, he would.
Well, honestly, going off of David Gore's comments, though, because he didn't only say something about Martian Manhunter that was a little insulting, he said
Hmm.
something about She-Hulk, too,
Oh
a
yes.
Marvel character, and I'm going to be very blunt here. What he said about and I don't, if you're a She-Hulk fan, I'm going to offend you, and I apologize beforehand, but what he said, I completely agree with.
About her
She-Hulk,
being a,
She-Hulk has slept with almost every single character in the Marvel Universe.
which is true, she has. I
So
mean,
there's
we
no
there.
way there's no way what he said isn't true.
Hmm.
She's like the female Tony Stark, you know? And I think
Well,
she
yeah,
hooked up with him too.
yeah, she did actually.
So
She
there
did.
you go.
She's from what I know she's hooked up with Tony Stark, with Juggernaut, with Hercules, Luke Cage. I think she hooked up with Wolverine. I'm not sure, but I mean, I to a point, I kind of get what he's saying about
And
what he's saying about She-Hulk. I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect the
what
character
he
because
I
I
feel
actually
like
like She-Hulk.
I
So
feel like what he was saying about She-Hulk though was a joke. I
Mm-hmm.
think that was his way of trying to be funny. It
Mm-hmm.
just came out offensive,
Yeah. But I
you
think
know?
I mean, that's the way because I kind of see it. I mean, he probably said it as a joke. I mean, I don't know if he was trying to, if he really was trying to offend the character.
I don't think he will. I don't think. I mean, why would he? I mean, he has no stake in Marvel. He doesn't care about their characters the way I see it. So I mean, DC. He's heavily involved in DC, whether it be the movies, and now
Yes.
he has the Constantine TV show that he is also working on. He wrote co-wrote the first episode with God, I don't know the other guy's name, but he co-wrote the first episode. He's a producer on that show, and besides Batman v Superman and Constantine, he's also working on Sandman with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yes.
And besides all of that work he does for DC, he also does his own stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
he writes other movies for other companies sometimes, and he has a TV show on Stars, which he writes episodes of. He's the creator of the show. It's a great show. It's called Da Vinci's Demons. Have you ever seen it?
I've seen part of it. I mean, it was pretty good.
It's one of those shows that you have to watch it from season 1, episode 1 all the way through, because you're not going to understand the story if you just or you're not going to understand it fully if you just jump on like at episode 4.
Mhm.
But it's really good show. I think they just finished their second season a while ago, and I think they got renewed. I hope they got renewed because it's a good show. But
But
I mean I don't see how he does it, David Goyer. I mean, he's a very busy guy.
but my only concern for David Goyer and WB is that, I mean, like I said, like I mean, I'm 50-50 towards Goyer. I mean, he's a hit and miss. Like I mean, I kind of did take a little offense, and I got pissed off about the comments he said about Martian Manhunter. But to me, I think Warner Brothers, if they really want this universe to succeed, like they need to hire other writers because they can't really rely too much on Goyer.
Well, they already have. I mean, they got Chris Terrio,
Mm-hmm.
and he technically David Goyer wrote the first draft of the screenplay, or the first couple draft, and now Chris Terrio is taking over and rewriting, and doing all of that, and doing the rest.
Yes.
So they already have hired other people, and obviously on the Justice League movie, David Goyer is probably already writing drafts of that as
Mm-hmm.
we speak right now, and then Chris Terrio will probably take over that and look over it and rewrites and do all that, and then we'll have the script for that when it comes time to do it. But I mean, after Justice League, I see them launching solo movies.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see a Ben Affleck Batman solo movie, Wonder Woman solo movie, a Green Lantern solo movie, a Flash solo
Another
movie,
Superman.
another Superman. Yeah.
Or maybe even like a lesser known DC property. Like maybe we might see either a Stormwatch movie, a
Oh,
Team 7 movie.
I wouldn't mind a Team 7 movie or Stormwatch. Those would be pretty cool. We already
Yeah,
know Shazam's on the table. They are planning a Shazam movie.
and a Metal Man, I
And a
think.
Metal Man. They're planning that too, and they've already said that. Yeah, and Metal Man actually gets me excited because if you've read their stuff in the New 52 Forever Evil
Mm-hmm.
story arc, they are completely tied in now with Cyborg. So we're getting Cyborg in this new
Yeah.
movie, and we're getting him in Justice League probably too.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably see him in the Metal Man movie,
Yes.
which is exciting. And the Shazam movie, I think it'll be like kind of what Guardians of the Galaxy is right now. It's
Mm-hmm.
tied in a way, but it's not quite there. It
Yes.
is there, it's tied in, but it's not like you're not going to see any of the big characters in that movie. I think Shazam will be very similar to that,
Oh, and
at least
Mitch,
in my
there's
opinion.
something I want. There's something I also wanted to bring it up. There was another subject that that came up a few days ago that I think we should discuss.
What is it?
Um, a few days ago, Jason Momoa appeared
Oh,
at Motor
yes.
City Comic Con.
And he denied the Aquaman.
No, not even that. And he's also starting. And he
He
was
wants to
actually,
be Lobo. Is that what you're
yeah.
gonna? Yeah. Well, it can. I see him as Lobo, but I don't see Lobo getting introduced anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, with Jason Momoa, I really want to see him appear in a DC movie, but as Lobo, I can't see him as Aquaman.
I think he will be. I mean, there's been too many rumors of him in DC for
Hmm.
there not to be some truth to it. I think he is either in talks with DC or he is signed on for a movie and he's just lying and lying and lying about it, you know?
We want to reveal the role.
He's pulling what Paul Rudd did when he was
Yeah.
heavily rumored for Ant-Man. He
Hmm.
kept denying it and denying it and denying it and denying it until Marvel announced it, and then he said, "Oh yeah, yeah, I'm doing that." You know, he's
Yeah.
that's what he's. I feel like Jason Momoa is doing.
All right. That could be a possibility. All
Let's
right.
move on to the next question, and the the second question comes from Josh White, and he asks, "What do you expect to see in a Wonder Woman solo movie? Plot and villains? And do you believe Gal Gadot could carry that solo movie?" And I'm gonna just quickly answer the second part because this is what's something that I've been thinking a lot about over the past few days. Can Gal
Mhm.
Gadot carry a solo movie? If I had to give a definite answer right now before seeing the Batman Superman movie and Justice League, I would say no. I would say she couldn't do it on her own. But I mean, obviously, we haven't seen her as Wonder Woman yet. So I mean, after seeing it, I'll probably change my mind and say, yeah, let her do it. But right now, after just watching her in the Fast and Furious movies, I don't think she can do it. I don't think she has the ability as an actress to do that, at least based on what I've seen of her. I do trust Zack Snyder with female characters, though, because all his movies have had strong female characters or a strong female presence and whatnot in them, like Silk Spectre and Watchmen, Feora and Man of Steel, you know. So so they're all in those.
Hmm.
And I do think, I mean, like I said, right now I would say no, but I do think given time, she absolutely could do it. But with the plot and villain, I don't know what the plot would be. I would have to think about that. But for a villain, I would like to see Ares in the first one and have the Duke of Deception, his like right hand man, as
Hmm.
a secondary villain of the movie. What do you think about this question, David?
Well, regarding if Gal Gadot can, that's how I say her name, anyways. If she can carry the solo movie at the moment, like I said, I'm gonna go with what you said. Somewhat, I'm 50-50 about it because one, I mean, Gal Gadot, I'm not gonna say she's a bad actress or is she a good actress. I mean, to me, we haven't seen much of her outside of the Fast and Furious movies, which I enjoyed, by the way. And I don't watch those movies just for acting. I just watch them for the action.
I
So,
don't think anybody watches those movies for the acting, David. I think it's
so
just for the action.
yeah,
Because let's face it, Fast and Furious is not like this heavy acting
yeah,
drama. You know, it's
hmm,
fast cars and explosions, and it's a good time.
yeah. So I don't. I mean, I don't know why people are. I don't know. I don't get where people are getting all these comments that she's a bad actress. So, but anyways,
it's
I
the
haven't seen.
you know I can understand them though, because like I said, she really hasn't done anything to prove that she is a good
Mhm.
actress. So until she does that, people are just going to assume that she's a bad one.
Yeah, but anyways, like I was saying, I wouldn't say she's a bad actress, nor would I say she's a good one. We just haven't given her a fair shot, and we just haven't seen her that much. So I'm thinking that maybe this world is gonna. This Wonder Woman, her playing Wonder Woman is gonna be the role that makes her.
It's like yeah, it's like Christopher Reeve and Superman, how that made
Yeah.
him.
I mean, every actor and actress has to start somewhere. I mean, they virtually start off as an unknown, or
Mm-hmm.
like they were a background person in one movie, and then they started in that one movie that made them. I think that's gonna be the case for Gal. And once we see her performance in Batman versus Superman and in Justice League, I think that's when she's gonna have that moment. She's gonna have built up that enough momentum and charisma for her to carry on a solo Wonder Woman movie. And I think that's gonna happen. I mean, I have strong faith in her because Zack Snyder, like you said, he delivers with his strong female casting, and
Hmm.
he's never let me down. And if one thing that Zach knows how to do is that he knows how to deliver with his good casting and his movies. And for the plot, I'm not sure what the plot would involve, but I know it would be like maybe like a little like an intro story, like showing her origins. And I hope they give her New 52 origins as a demi-goddess because
I
honestly never
never,
liked
I
the
never
whole
liked. Oh,
the
sorry.
whole sculpted from clay intro.
Yeah, I never liked that either. I never caught on to the clay thing. I like the
Hmm.
the demi goddess thing.
The
It just
demi-goddess,
makes more sense to me.
it does.
I mean, as far as Zeus coming down from Mount Olympus and fathering Wonder Woman makes any sort of sense in reality. I mean, really, when you think about it, it
Yeah, it
makes
does.
a lot more sense though than a clay. You know.
Yeah, it does. To me, I really love Wonder Woman's New 52 origins. It really makes sense. I mean, it's not something cheesy, you know. As for the plot, I mean, so I think her solo movie could involve some of her origin, could be like a little introduction and origin. As for the villain, I'd like to see maybe probably either Ares or even or Cersei and then Cheetah be involved somewhat, and then save like the big scale villains like Hades for like later films, or maybe like they could even have Hades fight the Justice League as well.
That yeah,
That,
that could be. I mean, I think with Wonder Woman, her most I'd say her most famous villain is Cheetah,
mm-hmm.
but that's also her most far fetched villain, in
Yes,
my opinion, at least.
I mean,
But
because we got to.
if people can accept a giant lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man,
Yeah,
they can accept a woman who looks like a cheetah.
yes, they can.
You just got to
And
give it a good explanation because the lizard had a good explanation of why he turned into that.
yeah,
You can't. I mean, the way I see it, you can't have her show up as a cheetah. You'd have
mm-hmm.
to show her origins too. And
They,
I honestly don't know her origins,
I'm
so
not.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
I'm not really too familiar with Cheetah's origins because, in fact, there's actually three incarnations of the character. As I believe in the pre New 52, there was a male Cheetah as well.
Yeah, I know, but I've only read or seen the female one.
Hmm. But like I said, like I want if they're gonna do like a good Wonder Woman movie, you have to have at least for a villain, they have to have her fighting somebody mystical, like maybe another god, a godlike being.
Yeah, I would
That's
like.
like,
I mean, that's why I said Ares too, because Ares is the god of war.
hmm
And besides him, like I would say, and I'm just gonna get into this real quick. I mean, I've done this on the page. I've like put up my who I would pick to play Ares,
hmm
and I've also did the same thing like months ago with the Duke of Deception.
yeah,
And a lot of people disagree with me on Ares, but the Duke of Deception I got a lot of agreement with. I would pick Colin Farrell
for
to
Ares,
play Ares.
I could see that working out.
Yeah.
He
I
knows how to do good villains.
The sad thing about Colin Farrell though is he is one of the most underrated actors.
He is.
But if you and he's one of people assume it's just bad. But if you
Hmm.
have seen him in like movies, he there are some movies with him where he is magnificent. He just shines. And the most recent one was he was in it with Tom Hanks and a couple other people who I'm forgetting their names at the moment. It'll come to me probably later today, but it was Saving Mr. Banks, and it was the story about Mary Poppins and whatnot.
I
And
haven't seen that one yet.
it was good, but it wasn't like great. But Colin Farrell's performance in it was great. He was incredible in it. I still think he deserved a Best Supporting Actor nomination for his role. I think he got robbed of that at the Oscars. But I mean, everyone that got nominated for it, I can't give you any reason why they didn't deserve a nomination. So, you know. But I mean, let's get away from that. But yeah, I would pick Colin Farrell for Ares just because I think he plays incredible villains and he's a good actor.
Yes, he is, and I could see that casting working out.
And I would pick Zachary Quinto for the Duke of Deception. You know, Zachary Quinto?
Yes, I know who he is. I can
Yeah.
see. Well, to me, I rather what it matters is that just as long as they pick somebody good to play it, and as long as the story delivers and it sticks to it takes inspiration from the source material. That's what will make a Wonder Woman movie good.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. Well, that's all we have here. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Because I'm out. That's all we have to talk about.
Well, that's pretty much it for me. That's those are my just my 2 cents.
All right, then. Well, that's it for us, then. That's the end of this episode, I suppose, of the DC Cinematic Universe podcast. I'll tell you what. In the description box below, there I will put links to both the DC Cinematic Universe Facebook page and the DC Cinematic Universe Facebook group. You can like the page, join the group, have conversations with DC Comics fans, DC movie fans, just anything related to DC. And they're great page, great group. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but I run them. But I think they're good. David, you think they're good, right?
Yes, I'm a huge fan of both the group and the page.
Yeah. All
They're the
right.
only reason I even log on to my Facebook anymore.
Well, I'm glad I can be of some service to somebody. All right. So I will put the links there, like I said, and you can go check them out, like the page, join the group. And also, if you want to support this podcast, there are two things you can do to help us out. You can subscribe to this podcast, to this channel at the podcast is on to this YouTube channel, and support us that way. Number two, what you can do is you can share this with all your friends and tell them about this podcast, and tell them that there is a place where they can go and hear about DC Cinematic Universe news, which is on this podcast. All right, so that's it, and goodbye, David. Thank you for being on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, Mitchell.
All right, and that's it.